Welcome back to the video series for the SAScon 2026 VCheese tournament. If you haven't watched the intro video for this tournament, I recommend checking it out. My army is Quahan with 4 squads of spiders, Rise of the Valkyrie Raylan, and Mara warriors. This is round 2, where I'm facing Nick the Ant, the defending Gen Con champion, who has Q9 with Maladrix and her Festering Honor Guard, and also Rise of the Valkyrie Raylan. This map is Arboretum, and the near glyph is Sola Astrid, and I'm actually not sure what the far glyph is. It didn't end up coming into play this game. My matchup into the Q9 portion of Nick's army is pretty good, but Maladrix is scary for any king-type build, where the big hero can get infested. If Quahan goes down, then the spiders crumble quite quickly, so I'll need to strike a balance between using Quahan against Q9 and trying to screen Quahan away from Maladrix. Maladrix infesting Raylan would also be bad, but not as bad, and since I'm outranged by Q9 here, I'm planning to make an aggressive Raylan placement anyways, as I think I need to cover Quahan and spiders as far forward as possible. The Q9 plus Maladrix combo is intriguing. Doc ran this same army in the recent online VCheese 6 tournament, but I'm not personally convinced that it's good enough on its own, without any screen beyond what Maladrix provides. It's a lot of eggs in usually just one basket, as usually one of the 2 heroes is weaker into the opposing army. I win the opening initiative, which is a bit unfortunate, and see 2 order markers each on Q9 and Maladrix. I stick with my original plan and move Raylan as far forward as possible, as I'm expecting Q9 to try and kite me from as far away as possible, and I'm just going to need to cover Quahan where she can throw Lightning Breath special attacks into Nick's start zone. Nick has the order marker 1 on Maladrix, and the Festering Honor Guard move up super conservatively behind the ruin, and Maladrix becomes the world's biggest roadblock in the middle of the map. With this placement, I'm expecting the 2 and 3 to both be on Q9, as Maladrix is creating a screen of sorts for him. I then bring in Quahan, but don't have any targets yet, and bring up 3 spiders up the middle, all of them in Raylan's aura. I'm not sure why I only put one of them next to jungle though. That seems like a clear mistake. The order marker 2 is indeed on Q9, who moves up on the far side of Maladrix, where Quahan won't be able to engage him yet, and uses Queglex into the lower defense spider, but none of the attacks go through. After some deliberation, I end up putting Quahan on the far max height spot. I don't love how exposed she is here, but I was pretty convinced that the order marker 3 was on Q9. The Lightning Breath special attack is only a 1 out of 4, and it fails to wound either hero, but it does kill 1 Festering Honor Guard, though that by itself is actually kind of scary, as Mal can now infest. I sent 1 spider to take height on Q9, and another to take Sola Astrid, and develop a 3rd one up the middle. The 4v9 fails to wound Q9 though. The order marker 3 is indeed on Q9, and, to my surprise, Q9 pivots around the spider towards me, outside of his Raylan's aura, engaging my Quahan from low ground. I didn't understand this at the time, and still don't, to be honest. If I win initiative, I'll get an 8v7 down on Q9 with Quahan. Q9 targets the spider first, getting it, but not wounding anything else. I do win the round 2 initiative, and see 1 order marker on Q9, 2 on Maladrix, and 1 on Raylan. I'm fairly confident the order marker 1 is on Raylan, as Nick will want to get her up to cover where Q9 is now, so I felt like I had 2 turns of shots on Q9 here, with Quahan before Maladrix would have a real order marker to join the party to fight back. Quahan stays put and uses Sola Astrid for the 8v7, but I roll a horrendous 1 out of 8 skulls, but it somehow does a wound. What a wasted opportunity though. Spiders can't do much on offense here, so I prioritize development. I use one that's already developed to engage Q9, to block Quahan from Maladrix, and then bring up 2 new spiders from the back. I was surprised to see the order marker 1 on Mal though, and glad I had blocked off that 1 spot with a spider. Festering Honor Guard spread out a bit, with 1 attack that misses, and Maladrix then rotates to engage Raylan, but only deals 1 wound across the 2x 4v3s. Raylan does get infested though. Back to me, and I have another shot at the 8v7 on Q9, and this time I roll 5 out of 8, and it does at least 3 wounds and kills him. This Q9 might have been the most expensive screen in all of Heroscape. I engage one Festering Honor Guard outside of his Raylan's aura, and take height on Maladrix, and develop one new spider up behind Quahan. I do kill the FHG, and also put a wound on Mal. The Order Marker 2 was on Q9, which also surprised me, but he's dead, so it's burned. Back to me, and Quahan stays where she is, as it's a really great perch, and throws a 3 out of 4 Lightning Breath special attack that puts another wound on Maladrix, and kills 2 FHGs. I sent one spider to take height on Raylan, I pivot the one who has height on Mal a bit, and send another to replace it. I use Sola Astrid from one of the heighted shots on Mal, but those 2 spiders roll 0 for 7, so that didn't work, and Raylan blocks the 1 out of 3. The Order Marker 3 is now on Raylan, which also surprised me, but at this point in the round I should be used to that. Raylan scoots forward and kills that spider. I win the round 3 initiative, and just have to deal with Maladrix at this point. Quahan stays put and throws another 3 out of 4 Lightning Breath special attack, which kills an FHG and wounds Raylan, though I'm not sure how many wounds. A third spider engages Maladrix, and the spiders roll very hot behind Height and Sola Astrid, and end up finishing off Maladrix here. After a burned Order Marker, Quahan flies in to engage Raylan directly, killing her and ending the game. This was a good matchup for me, and then on top of that, the engagement happened mostly outside of Nyx Raylan's aura, which helped skew it even more in my favor, and I take this one down to move to 2-0 this event.